share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with recipe share. Recipe share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with recipe share.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Recipe Share, a program on AADL TV, where we take a few minutes to talk about recipes from a featured category. Today's category is Egg-stravaganza. I'm Beth, and as usual, I'm joined by Katie and Elizabeth. So, Elizabeth, tell us what you made for your Egg-stravaganza.
I will. I made something called migas, migas. This is a Tex-Mex breakfast dish. I was inspired to do this because, well, I have gone on my trip to far west Texas, but when I was making this, I was getting excited about it, so I decided to try my hand at making it. And this is a delicious breakfast dish. So I loosely used a recipe from Gimme Some Oven, but I really did not exactly follow it. So I'll share that recipe with the viewers and with you two, but I'm just going to kind of describe what I did. So basically what you do is you whisk together in a bowl the number of eggs that you want. The recipe calls for 12. I was preparing this for myself, so I did 2. You whisk together some eggs, and then it calls for milk. I did not do that, but a little bit of cumin and salt and pepper. You set that aside, and then in a saucepan, you're going to saute some onion and jalapeno until the onion is soft and translucent, and then you add some garlic until it's fragrant. So again, the recipe is calling for a whole onion and a whole jalapeno. I scaled this way down for just myself. And then you add the egg mixture and you reduce the heat to lower, and you just kind of cook, stirring frequently until the eggs are totally scrambled. And then you stir in some broken up tortilla chips, some salsa, and some cheese. And you kind of just let that mix together, and then you season with more salt and pepper if you would like. This is typically served with some corn tortillas and some avocado. And then I opted to top it with some fresh cilantro because I really like that. And I did not add to the corn tortillas. I didn't feel like that was necessary for me. But you can put the egg mixture in it and make a little taco type thing. But it's really easy, really delicious, great for like a quick weekend brunch. The tortilla chips add a fabulous crunch, and it's just a really yummy dish. The avocado is a great little thing on the side, and I have a photo here of my little plate of migas, and I'd highly recommend giving it a try if you haven't had them before.
Well, that's cool. I know I've seen migas on menus before, or maybe in cookbooks, but I've never really paid attention to what exactly it is. So now I know. Thank you. And I was wondering if the chips were gonna say crunchy in there. So I'm glad to hear that they do and it adds some texture to it. That sounds really good.
Yeah, they soften a little bit,
Okay.
but it's actually kind of like the perfect amount because they still are, they're not like as crunchy as they were when they were chips, but it's still a nice change in texture and it's yummy.
Nice.
All right, Katie, do you want to share your egg extravaganza?
Oh, sure. Um, this is kind of funny because I know that both of you have actually seen the picture of this recipe that I made because I posted it on social because I was actually having a little bit of a frustrating time with it. But the recipe did end up turning out really well, so that's why I'm sharing it with you today. This is for snappy veg with broken Caesar. It's from the book I Dream of Dinner So You Don't Have to by Ali Slagle. This is an awesome cookbook. I love it. I've checked it out a number of times. I know you both have checked it out, but I don't have it with me because I had to give it back. It's very popular, but I do recommend looking at it. So there are a handful of ingredients for this dish, and you really can like play with them in amounts and like what you want and what you don't. But basically, it's little potatoes, garlic, capers, lemons, Parmesan, boiling vegetables, and eggs. So to start, you boil your little potatoes, just cover them in water with some salt, bring them to a simmer, and you let them cook for like 10, 15 minutes. Use a transfer them to a colander with a slotted spoon and just like run them under the cold water. And because you want to keep your pot of water at a simmer because you're going to use it again. But while the potatoes are cooking, you make your dressing. And this is kind of interesting. So she starts out making the dressing on a cutting board by smashing and coarsely chopping 2 garlic cloves, adding grinds of black pepper and then some capers, and she chops and presses them down with the side of her knife. I just threw all of that in a mini food processor to make a paste, which is what you're supposed to end up with, and because it just sounded easier, which it seemed like it was. Once you've got a paste, you transfer that to a bowl, stir in lemon zest and lemon juice, grate in some Parmesan, and then stir in some more capers. Slowly add some olive oil until it's all mixed together and just set that aside. You trim up some boiling vegetables. So she suggests using broccolini, cauliflower, snap peas, green beans. She says you can use a mix of all these or just one. I end up using broccolini and snap peas for mine. So once you've got your potatoes out, then you add your eggs to the water. And this is where I messed up like embarrassingly multiple times. I was trying to like very gently lower the eggs into the water with my hands, and they would hit the bottom, crack, and then a little bit of the egg was coming out of the cracks. And I need to use this water still to boil vegetables. So not only did I just crack eggs and waste them, but I've wasted the water and I need to start over because it needs to be boiling. So I have to again dump it out, boil water, put the eggs in. I did this twice. So I don't know. I did not learn my lesson the first time, but the third time I used the slotted spoon that I've been using for the potatoes and that you use to get the eggs out in the end to put the eggs in, which is what you should do. Please learn from my mistake. You cannot, or at least I cannot gently put eggs in so that they don't hit the bottom of a pot the size I was using. So slotted spoon. Anyway, you cook your eggs for about 9 minutes. It ends up being like in between like medium and hard boiled. Transfer those to your ice bath to cool with your slotted spoon. Then you add your vegetables. It only takes a couple minutes, but you can pull one out, taste it to see if it's like the crispness or tenderness that you desire. When it is, you transfer those to an ice bath to cool. And you peel and quarter your eggs. It says smash the potatoes or tear them in two. I just cut my potatoes. Then you put your potatoes and your vegetables on a plate or platter, top with your eggs. Taste your dressing and adjust as needed with acid. You can add lemon, fat, you can add olive oil and salt. You can add capers or cheese. Add the dressing to your salad, season with salt and pepper, more Parmesan. She says it's good, warm, or at room temperature. I only ate mine once and I only ate it warm, but it was delicious and I will make this again. I just one of the things that surprised me was that I really expected like the broccolini to be like a big star of this dish, and I liked the snap peas so much better. So I think next time when I make this, it's going to be like snap peas, potatoes, eggs, dressing, and we're pretty good to go there. So I thought it was really good, and the eggs were excellent, but you know, it took some trial and error to get there.
I love that cookbook so much that I bought it.
Oh, nice.
So I own it now, and I've passed by this recipe. I've seen it. I can like picture it in the cookbook. I think the technique is pretty cool. I do not like washing pots. Who does? So I love the same pot aspect of this, and your description has made me tempted to give it a go myself. So
now you're ready.
So I just want to make sure I understood this. It was hard-boiled eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always use a slotted spoon. I guess.
Well, now I will
Now
too.
we know. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then there's no actual like leaf component to this one, right?
That's right. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's part of like why it's a broken
Broken
season.
salad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, Beth, tell us about your extravaganza.
All right, my friends. I watch the Today Show every day, basically, for half most of my life. And one day recently, Mark Bittman was on there. He's written a ton of cookbooks, but he's got one out now, How to Cook Everything Kids version. And he even had his grandson on there. So this was an egg pizza, is what the grandson called it. It's really kind of a frittata. So you take, I think originally it was 4 eggs beaten. You take like a half cup or like a handful of goldfish crackers and that are crushed, and you mix that in. You lay it on a preheated about 10-inch frying pan that's got a lid. You pour that egg batter in. You let it just sit so it becomes like a one, like a frittata, or it looks like a tortilla, kind of. And then you scoop it out, and then you top it with pizza toppings if you want. Mark Bittman, he shared to add like Parmesan cheese, which is what I did, parm, and I do have a picture of it in the pan and also on the plate. I didn't have a lot of pizza ingredients, but I did have some roasted tomatoes, and that was really good. And it was just a, simple, easy recipe that I was really hoping to do with our kids, but the grandkids, but it was a little too complicated to like spring it on everyone. So I made it for just a snack. And then I also tried out, he mentions in the recipe that you can add other crackers and other things. So, well, I had some Ann Arbor tortilla chips, not my favorite flavor, but anyway, I had some of those yesterday. I thought I'll just see how that works. So I used just 2 eggs and a handful of those crumbs, and I didn't butter the pan enough, so it kind of stuck, but I added salsa and sour cream to that and some cilantro sprouts to it that I'm growing from a library program. So that was really good. So I have a picture of that one too. So that was my egg pizza.
That's a cute idea. That's fun for kids. And your second one sounds almost like migas.
I know exactly. It did. Right. So, yeah, if you ever find yourself hungry and you have some cracker crumbs or whatever, think about it. You can
Yeah,
also add veggies too, he had said, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
was just gonna say it sounds like you could add just about anything that you wanted to it and just like really change up the flavors. I mean, just like a frittata, but I like that. I like the crust too. That's cool.
Yeah, I love that it was the, goldfish crackers, because that's just so kid friendly,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that sounds good too. Like that would be a
Uh-huh.
good flavor with the eggs.
Yeah. And that's actually why I said, well, I'm going to share it, because Savannah and Craig and everyone on the show were just like, this is so good. So, I had to share it. So I did. Anyway, it's something to have if you're hungry. So if we are all done with our egg-stravaganza, I'm going to say that I appreciate you watching Recipe Share. Be sure to click the link below to look at the event page on aadl.org to find out the recipes we talked about and share yours in the comments. Join us next time when we are going to be wondering, will it salad? We'll find out next week. Thanks again.
Recipe share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share.